Hello everyone and welcome to a very special video. This is Dexter Season 8, an overview video so far. This is basically a thoughts and opinions video of what I think of Dexter so far from the first episode, from the trailers that I've seen, and clips and so on. This video will feature minor spoilers, so please keep that in mind folks if you haven't seen the first episode yet of Dexter Season 8, or if you haven't seen the season at all yet, or don't want any spoilers, please avoid watching this video. Now what I think of the season so far, and the direction it's taking in, is very interesting. And of course Season 7 and 8 were filmed back to back, and you can definitely tell by how fast this season has come on. It's just turned July, and it's already got the first episode, and it was awesome. I'm a huge Dexter fan, if you do not know that folks. I've got all the seasons on the DVD, and I'm a huge fan of the show. I've been with it since the very beginning of the first season, and just to get to this point of this series is very interesting. And the season direction so far, I'm not quite sure which direction it's going to go into. From what I've seen so far between the first episode and the trailers, it looks like it's going in a very specific way. The writers know what they want to do with this series. You can definitely tell that. First episode in, minor spoilers here folks, we see Dexter I think he's kind of like his dark passenger is breaking through a little bit, because you can see him getting a little pissed off. You can see his kind of animal dark side coming out definitely a lot more, and I think he's breaking, perfectly honest. You see him kind of happy in the opening of the episode. Then you see the effects of not having Deborah around. Being the fact this is 6 months after the events of season 7, Deborah's gone off and to private investigation work. She's doing sleazy stuff, doing drugs, doing sleeping with people that she shouldn't do really. And Dexter's kind of like really worried about it and does not want her to get killed or get arrested or anything along those lines. And it's the idea of those two characters just being completely so opposite. I mean, we've had so many different kind of relationships between those characters over the seasons. They've been very close characters over the course of the series, and season 7 was the breaking point of those two characters. And obviously now is the the separation, in a sense. They're very two different people, and they just don't like each other now. Dexter still loves his sister, and he still wants to be okay, and he wants her to be happy, and he wants to go things back to the way they want to, in a sense, I think. And Deborah just can't do it now. She's a changed person. Dexter's always been a serial killer. He's always been detached from his emotions, and we've learned, of course, from the seasons how he's gained his emotions again through Rita and his girlfriends throughout the seasons, and the serial killers that he meets over the course of the years. Deb's character has always been the same kind of honest, good personality character. Amora's have been questioned in a couple of episodes, a couple of seasons. This one is basically she's broken now, perfectly honest. She's not the same person anymore, and the relationship between those two characters will be the most defined throughout the season, to see where it goes and see where it leads into. I got my theories of what's going to happen, but I'm not going to say them just yet, just to see where the season goes, just from the first episode on. I'll say my opinion when it gets to a few more episodes into it, then we'll see what happens. We've got a new character course from the series called Dr. Ellen Vogel, which is a kind of neuropsychiatrist, if I said that right. She basically studies serial killers, and there's a twist just been revealed from the actual preview second trailer that I've just watched, and it's basically reshaped my entire opinion of the series, the entire Dexter series. And I just think, did they just do that kind of thing? It makes me think, looking back on previous episodes, thinking that makes sense. It's like a huge shock of a twist. It's probably so obvious as well, but yeah, it's like, that makes sense. It actually works, and I'm actually genuinely excited to see where they take that. And by the looks of it, Evelyn Vogel is not really an enemy that I can tell from the episode. From what I can see, she's more of an ally to Dexter, but we'll wait and see what happens to that. Also, there's a new serial killer in town, obviously, with this kind of brain surgeon that's taking out pieces of the brain, of course, keeping them, and it'll be interesting to see Dexter go against that kind of, serial killer. It'll be interesting to see the back and forth, and while Dexter's kind of breaking at the same time, will he manage to defeat this serial killer? At the same time, also having a hitman in the series would be interesting. Plus, we have his girlfriend back. I forgot the actual character's name, completely forgot, but her girlfriend's back in the season. We know that for sure from the season 8 overview trailer that we saw. And it was like, "Do you remember me?" kind of thing. And I think she's going to be back, and she's going to be a bitch, definitely, in the series. I think it's not a coincidence all these kind of villains, like 3 major villains, possibly a 4th villain. I'm not sure on this Dr. Ellen Vogel quite yet, but I think Dexter's way over in his head for this series, and I think he's just fucked. I don't want to see this. I don't want Dexter to be in this situation, but I think it is. From the reports that I've seen on the certain web pages and articles, basically the writers have said the audience would not want to see what we have in store for this series, in a sense, because we've loved this character so much between 7 seasons, 7 years. I don't want this character to be killed or anything along those lines, or I want Dexter to triumph and always win. I love it when he goes against other killers and he always manages to outsmart the situation. But I think this series, he's definitely over his head. We'll see what happens over the course of the series, and we'll see if he manages to survive it. That is the question. So that's my thoughts and opinions on Dexter Season 8 so far. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Have you seen Season 8 first episode? What are your thoughts and opinions from the trailers? From what what are your thoughts on the actual direction of the series so far? Do you think it's going to be good? Do you think it's going to be bad for Dexter? Love to know your opinions. Comment down below. Meantime, I'm Dream. Let's hang out.